Concerned parents are joining forces to inform the public of the future of Bar Colony School. Stacey Comer spoke to one of them today to find out why they have taken up the cause.
Carly McDonald is joining us today on Primetime Local News. Carly is a concerned parent, and we're going to be talking today about the issues surrounding Bar Colony School. Carly, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's start off, Carly, by talking about the school and some background. So what are the current issues that are facing the school? What could possibly happen?
So in 2013, an engineering company performed an assessment on the school. There is a portion of the school where 3 different wings connect essentially all of the school together. There was some concern with the structural integrity of that portion, along with some mold that was growing underneath the crawl space, as it was a very old building brought over and put on the land, and it's just on the earth with no concrete foundation. So there was some concerns around that. They completed an intervention strategy to mitigate the mold, dry it out, and that was that strategy that they put in place in 2013. The engineering company gave them a 3 to 5 year timeline for them to build a more long-term solution to ensure that the building was safe and in operable condition for the staff and the students.
So now, as a concerned parent, Carly, what do you feel is the best solution for the school?
Based on the portion of the building that is in question, I think it's best to keep the school open and come up with some estimates and quotes from professionals that we can get a really good understanding and a clear picture of like what needs to be done today due to the lack of intervention that's been taken for the past decade. So what needs to be done, what is the cost, and what is the time frame that we're looking at, so that we can make an informed decision on whether or not moving forward with this work is feasible and if it's the best outcome for the community. I definitely think that this school is very important given the fact that Lloydminster does have a growing population of young families. I think it's really important that we keep this school open for our children and for their future education.
Do you think to this point there's been enough transparency by the school division to the parents and those concerned about the school?
At this point, no. I don't think that there's been enough transparency. They did facilitate a meeting on November 6th where they had pulled together some data in regards to enrollment numbers and quotes that were given back in 2013. And as we know, inflation and COVID, and there's a lot of things that happened in our world in the past decade that really would impact that data that they had brought forth. So I don't think that we have enough information to make informed decision making as all stakeholders involved and all community members of Lloydminster.
The school division did release a statement, and I'm just going to refer to my notes here. So it basically states that they have started a feasibility study and a formal decision has not yet been made. So Carly, what do you think about that statement?
It is the statement that I was kind of expecting, to be honest. So a feasibility study at this time has not been complete, and when I had inquired about gathering estimates for the work that needed to be done, the Director of Education, Jason Vell, had responded with, due to inflation and the constant changing of numbers, that an estimate or quotes for work would not at this time matter because they would change day by day. So I don't believe that they are moving towards completing a feasibility study for financial purposes. And I don't believe that they are working through all possible options based on the responses that were given to some of the options presented by parents. So some of those options were to disperse the children amongst the schools on the Saskatchewan side due to their lower enrollment numbers. So they had a well-developed plan for the children to be dispersed and bused. Jason Vell had even said that they were going to reconfigure the bus routes and had talked about what that financial cost might look like for the public school division. But when other parents inquired about other potential options, there was no critical thought put into place of what that might look like.
So do you think that there's enough time, given their timeline, to make the right decision on this?
Based on the lack of evidence-based data and research that the Public School Division brought to the parents at the parental meeting on November 6th, I don't believe that there's a healthy enough timeline for parents or community members to make an appropriate decision. And the lack of clarity from the presentation that they had put together, I don't think at this point in time that we have enough knowledge about the situation or the school.
Now, you are behind a group that's kind of getting together, I guess, to have a public meeting to inform all the parents about this before the board meeting. So tell me, where and when is this meeting?
So this meeting is going to take place on November 17th at 7 p.m. at the Living Faith Church that's located in close proximity to the Bar Colony School. And that meeting is for all parents, neighbors, and community members to attend, as the potential closure of this school really will have an impact on more than just parents of the children that attend this school. It'll have an impact on parents and children that attend other schools, as the children may potentially be displaced to their school, inflating their enrollment numbers and their capacity levels.
Okay, and Carly, there is a board meeting on the 22nd, which people can also attend. And now there's also a Facebook group set up for people to kind of get, I guess, information in one place. So can you tell me how they can find this Facebook group?
Yeah, so if you go onto your Facebook and type in the search engine, Save Bar Colony School, the group should pop up. I know a couple individuals had also shared it in the What's Happening in Lloydminster thread that had the news article in relation to the Bar Colony School closing as well.
All right. Well, Carly, thank you so much for joining me today. We really appreciate it. And there'll be much more to come on this, obviously. So we'll keep in touch and see how things go. But once again, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much.
A school in Hillmond celebrated togetherness with a school-wide T-shirt initiative. As our Callan Dunlop shows us, students and adults alike are learning how we are all better together.
Students, teachers, everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. The Better Together T-shirt project was created in 2019, and ever since, Deb McNabb, co-founder of Better Together, says the initiative has grown steadily over the years.
We've seen actually Better Together grow. The T-shirt is just a tool that we use to connect communities. So during COVID, you couldn't touch, you couldn't hug, you couldn't be together, but in community, wearing your shirt on a Tuesday, you could see one of your matches and you could wave, you could blow kisses, you can send hand hearts all over the place, and we just saw connection happen.
Hillmond was eager to bring in Deb, who routinely speaks at events and schools throughout the community, to showcase the power of Better Together.
And when I first heard her speak, I really connected with her message, in that I felt like at our school community we were doing a lot of these great things to connect kids with other generations, and I thought the Better Together initiative would be an awesome way to celebrate those things, to recognize them, and then build on them to build further connections between generations in our community.
Deb's goals are to inspire, encourage, as well as to love all those looking to be more connected in their community.
We're scared to tell somebody that we're lonely because it means that we might not be able to make friends or that we're not likable, all these stigmas that are around that word. And I'm trying to prove everywhere I go that we need each other. And if you're lonely, that's even more of a reason that we need one another.
Callan Dunlop, Primetime, local news.
And Thomas is here to join us now with the weather. What are we looking at for the next couple of days?
Well, it was a very windy and snowy evening yesterday, of course, but with that really nice sun and just a lack of wind out there, it's actually been quite nice today, and most people wouldn't even have to really clean up their snow and shoveling. I know at my house, and I just walked by recently, that I'm probably only going to have to shovel for about maybe 5 minutes or so, where it could have been a heck of a lot worse considering how bad that blizzard looked yesterday. And as you can see here in the almanac, we are sitting way higher at that high there at 4 degrees to the usual normal of 1 degree, and the low is considerably higher as well, the 4 degrees higher at the -5 to the -9. Now take a look at the current conditions. We're sitting at 5 degrees with no wind chills, so it's going to be looking fantastic right now with that. And so just a nice 41% humidity from that snowfall last night here in the border city. Now heading to the east in North Battleford, they're sitting at 5 degrees. With that wind chill, they're going to be down to about 2 degrees. Same as they're probably feeling similar to us with that 44%, but nice and sunny there as well, feeling that here in the Saskatchewan side. Going west now into Cold Lake, they're sitting at 3 degrees, and with that wind chill, they're going down to -1, and they probably saw a good amount of snow there as well, sitting at a nice 51% humidity. Now taking a look at the current temperatures in the central region here, we're seeing Bonnyville sitting up at a nice high 5 degrees. Edmonton, our going west, is sitting at that nice 5 degrees. Our high points are down south in Provost at 7 degrees. Vermilion sitting at a nice 6 degrees right now, as is Marwayne at 5 degrees. And we're going to see our friends at St. Paul at 4 degrees. And Vegreville is going to be the closest to us at 2 degrees, as well as the Cold Lake and Lac La Biche. Then looking at the Saskatchewan side, Allercross sitting at a cold 0 degrees right now. Green Lake at 1 degree. Pierceland at 2. St. Walburg and Meadow Lake sitting at 3 degrees. And pretty much the same down south in Maidstone. But Macklin sitting at that 7 degrees as well. So fantastic down there in our south, just right south to our southern brothers there in both Saskatchewan and Alberta. Tonight in Lloydminster, we're going to be sitting at -5 degrees tonight, and only a 2% chance of precipitation, so likely no snow or rain, which is fantastic. Partly cloudy to finish out the night. North Battleford is going to be colder than us at a -7. It's going to be mainly clear out there with likely no chance of snow there as well. And then looking at Cold Lake, they're going to be similar to us at -5%. Clear to patchy cloudiness, so it's going to be quite nice out there in Cold Lake. But now we'll take a look at your 3-day forecast here as the week continues on. And it's going to stay pretty nice, though, as Wednesday we're going to see a high of 4 degrees. Going to be quite cold in the evening, though, there at a -9. Thursday, we're sitting at 2 degrees with a low of -2. We're going to see some of those sun and clouds, though, and it's going to be partly sunny and a little bit breezy and milder at 8 degrees with a low of -1. So a fantastic finish to your week on Friday. But that's going to do it for our weather forecast. We'll have some news bumper headlines after right now to Leanne.
Thanks, Thomas. Coming up after the break, provincial and federal governments teamed up to provide more registered gay care spots in Saskatchewan. The Holy Rosary Raiders football team is making waves in high school provincials, heading into the North Final once again. Our Thomas Wildman got the opportunity to talk to the Raiders head coach to learn more.
Today I am joined by Vince Oreo, the head coach of the Holy Rosary Raiders, and he's here today to talk about the provincial championships that you guys are competing in this past weekend and coming up throughout the rest of November. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Vince.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So last weekend, you guys started off provincials with a matchup against the Whitecourt Cats. Talk to me about that game. Of course, obviously, it was a very successful game as you are still in the provincials.
Our kids played well. We came out. We came out looking for a little bit of retribution from the week before. That Wheatland final stung a little bit. So our boys wanted to come in focused and ready to go, and send a bit of a message that we're still here and we're ready to compete.
And so you guys definitely put up the points against Whitecourt as well as really limited their defense. What were those keys to having such a good offense and such a good defensive attack at the home game win for you guys this past weekend?
Yeah, we were able to, have a pretty balanced offense. We ran the ball well. We were able to throw the ball around. Despite some windier conditions at the start of the game, we were a little concerned about that, but the kids performed well. And when called upon, they made good on their opportunities. On the defensive side of the ball, the kids bought into the game plan, and they were patient. They stayed home. Their offense relied a lot on some misdirection, and we focused on the kids all week to be patient, stay home, let the play develop, just read it and react, and they did that very well.
So finally, a big North Championship matchup to go to the Alberta Bowl for the Tier 3 provincials.
What are you looking at in terms of your opponent and the things you guys are going to continue to do well in order to make sure that you can win this North Championship and head to yet another finals for your club?
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of film study this week, and try and do a good job of install with the kids on the field in practice. We don't know a lot about our Jocelyn. We've got a little bit of film that we're able to watch. They played Bonnyville last week, which is a familiar opponent to us, so it gives us a little bit of an idea of what they're all about. It's hard to tell on film though what the actual speed is and the size and the strength of our opposition. So all we can do right now is game plan for what they do on offense and defense, and try to game plan around that. But we just need to come out and play well and play our game, and let the chips fall where they may. But I think if we practice well this week and come out ready to play, we should be all right.
Good luck to you and the Raiders in this coming up weekend's matchup, and hopefully we will be able to see you guys once again in the Alberta Bowl again this coming up next weekend.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome for the kids and the coaching staff. Appreciate the time today.
Back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have Hubris, an adorable cat who has a bit of a unique personality in how he walks especially.
Yes.
Tell me about his story and how he became here.
So Hubris has been here since June. He's approximately a year old. He's a very busy cat that likes to run around and play. He was adopted out as a kitten, and then he did get returned. Unfortunately, he does need gastro food, so he needs like a special food for his diet. But other than that, he is awesome with kids, great with other cats, really likes to play, so he would love a home with an active cat or kitten that would actually wrestle and run with him. And he has been around dogs as well and seems to do really well with them. So would be a great addition to pretty much any family.
So just despite just needing to spend a little extra money on the food,
Yeah.
he's perfect within any household.
Yes, and he's very playful. I kind of call him Monkey because he runs around with his little monkey tail up. And he will just run around, like when we're cleaning and we let him loose, he will just do laps around the shelter. He likes playing with kittens. He's not upset when the kittens are batting his tail. And half the time he's actually the one reaching out of his kennel trying to play with others too. So I think he would really enjoy an active home, and kids would be great for him because then they could play with him with the cat wand and keep him going and get some energy out as well.
So he has a bit of a energetic personality mixed with a very chill personality.
Yeah.
So a very energetic kitten like this one, it won't faze him. He'll end
Yes.
up playing with them and, kind of acting like a kitten as well.
Yes, exactly.
And how long has he been in the shelter? I know you said that he has been here for a while.
Yeah, he's been here since about June. So we're really hoping he can find a good home so that he's not sitting here and he can be in a family environment and have kids of his own as well.
Now, speaking of cats, you had an adoption event. Tell me how that went. You were saying that you guys did get a lot of adoptables out.
Yeah, so we had quite a few kitten and cat adoptions. We even had one dog, so Crew got adopted. He met a really great family that was a good match for him. And we had a lot of people coming through that were interested in our other adoptable dogs, so we ended up having Dobby and Marty on site as well. So it was really great exposure for our animals, and it was a week-long adoption event, which is amazing. So it was really good to kind of empty out some of our cat kennels and make room for more that were needing space, and now they can be on the adoption floor. And we do have an event coming up this coming weekend as well with Pet Value, and it's another adoption event. So we're hoping that that will continue and people will come out and meet the adoptable animals on site at Pet Value as well.
And when is that event?
That is Saturday, November 18th from 12 to 5.
Awesome. Now, same question as every week. Is there any donations that you're in need of?
Yeah, so right now we're actually going to be making a post and looking for donations towards dental surgery, which one of our adoptable dogs, Marty, needs. He's an older dog, but really great personality. We actually posted a video of him doing some tricks over the weekend and stuff like that. So he's a really nice dog, would prefer an acreage or farm lifestyle because he really likes to be outdoors, and he's just needing some help with cleaning up his teeth, and he needs a few older teeth pulled as well. So we're hoping that we can fundraise and get that done for him.
That'd be awesome. We had Marty on our show
Yes.
a couple, either I think last week or the week before,
Yeah.
and he was the best well-behaved dog, and he is a little bit older, so that kind of
Yes.
makes sense, but he is fantastic. So
Yeah.
hopefully this will help with the fundraiser and get him his surgery that he needs.
Make him a little more adoptable as well. Then you're not having to pay for that expense on a dog, and make him more comfortable too.
Well, thank you for joining me again, and I know that Hubris, he has such a chill personality, and he just wants, I know he'll make any family very, very happy.
Yes. Awesome.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm excited to be joined today on Primetime Local News by a special guest. Carly Turford is here from Maurice's. Carly is a district leader. Thank you for joining me today, Carly.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's so exciting to chat with you today because we have a big announcement in that Maurice's is coming to Lloydminster. Tell me about when and where that's happening.
Oh my goodness, I'm so thrilled. So Maurice's November 18th. So Saturday, November 18th at 9 a.m., 1 hour earlier than the mall typically opens in the Lloyd Mall, is our new location there.
And tell me a little bit about the company if there are some people who don't quite know what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Maurice's, we really take pride on our value price point. Married with that great fashion trend in there, size inclusive, but feel good fashion for everyday life for everyone.
And one thing too that is really super exciting is that it's not just for women. You have an size inclusive line for teens as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, you bet. So specific to this location, not every location does carry our FZ line, which is the tween line sizes 7 to 14 for those Maurice's up and coming shoppers. So that partners right well with our 0 to 24 line as well. So it's the best of both worlds for every shopper.
And as far as the store goes here, Carly, are you still looking for employees or do you guys have the staff that you need right now?
Fully staffed right now as we head into kind of the holiday season, but definitely, come on out and let's talk talent all day.
Well, and in regards to the fashion that's in the store, Carly, can you maybe give us a little bit of a description as to what people can find? Is there formal wear? Is there casual wear? Is there really a little bit of everything?
There really is. There really is. We hit it all. Casual, dressy, everything in between. We've got a little niche for everybody.
And now there is just a little bit of a wait between when your interview airs and, of course, when the store opens. So, is there a place people can go just if they want to take a little sneak peek ahead of time? Maybe sign up for some clubs or incentives if you have that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So Maurice's.com, definitely head on there. We've got all of our new arrivals that will be in store on that grand opening day. And we do have a social site up already specific to this location, which is your Border City Stylist. You can find on Facebook and Instagram.
When people enter a store, Maurice's store, what can they expect? Is it the friendly greetings and people who are, willing to help them and even help them with styling ideas? Because I know that's definitely one thing I struggle with is, does this go with this? And does this look like it matches? Is that what the services people are trained to do for Maurice's?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's fun. I can't describe it in any other word but fun. Right from the music you're probably going to hear in the hallway coming down, to the decor and the aesthetic. Then partnered with all of that great fashion and our educated stylists. You really feel like you're shopping with a friend that just has a little bit of that inside scoop of what's the latest trends.
And why did you choose Lloydminster for a location?
Really wanted to continue to expand the footprint in Alberta. About a year and a half ago, we opened up in Grant Prairie and Sherwood Park, and getting to travel that province myself. Lloydminster was an easy next step that aligned with our values, and giving back to that community. Everybody that I met from hotels to restaurants when we were there, we were eager to open up.
Well, Carly, it has been awesome talking to you today. I cannot wait till this store opens. So once again, in the Lloyd Mall, give us the time and the day that we can enter Maurice's doors and enjoy a shopping experience.
You bet. Saturday, November 18th, 9 a.m. Again, 1 hour earlier than the mall opens up. Get there early in Lloyd Mall. We can't wait to see you all there.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today, Carly.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
Today is King Charles' 75th birthday, and the Royal Canadian Mint is set to showcase its design for the new loonie bearing the face of the monarch. The King will replace the current image of the late Queen Elizabeth. The design was chosen from a pool of more than 300 artists and was sent to Buckingham Palace for approval. The Mint says a small amount of coins featuring the King will start circulating in early December. And we got a bit of a taste of winter overnight, of course, and kind of slippery out there.
Yeah, well, and just make sure that if you don't have your winter tires on yet, it's definitely the time to get working on that, and just drive generally safer, you know, start stopping earlier. Brakes aren't always the best idea in icy conditions, of course. I'm sounding like our friend from SGI right now giving advice, but yeah. Make sure you be safe out there, because it's going to be getting a lot worse as the week goes on, especially if it stays hot and icy like this.
Yeah, probably some variable road conditions for sure ahead of us. That's all we have for you tonight, so thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.